Hey guys, we're back. We got about 2 hours left to stream, so let's hop into this room and check it out. Sombrero makes it even taller. Arena!
Thank you, Sam. In reclaiming our past, we've uncovered a number of vital clues. Don't worry, I just got back. We have time. When you met with Mama, you experienced a strong antigen-antibody reaction, correct?
There was a BT in the room.
There was, but something else may have been causing it. I've discovered large quantities of chiral matter in Mama as well. Not just the usual kind that collects on our skin or on our suits. It's in all her cells. Cells that are no longer active. The BT you encountered there was special. It was her child, but also her own soul. Somehow, her car and half failed to separate. They must have remained connected through the umbilical cord. It's the only explanation.
Is that why I didn't get a bruise where she touched me?
Yes, and there's more.
10 seconds to cardiac arrest.
What?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I modified the log times. Headquarters will have no record of what we say. Look, a message from Dead Man. It came with the umbilical cord.
Sam, I'm sorry. You deserve to know what you were carrying. But I couldn't risk Heartman finding out about the case. So I had no choice but to keep it off the books. You've got to keep this between us. We still don't know if the director can be trusted. The umbilical cord was taken from Bridget Strand. I removed it in secret. The cord wasn't attached to a fetus. It was outside her body. She asked me to take care of it. Said it was the key to unlocking the Death Stranding. But she insisted that I never tell the director. The cord shows no sign of decomposition or necrotization. Almost as if it's frozen in time. I thought Heartman might be able to make sense of it. So I had it hidden with your cargo at Mountain Knot City.
Deadman's observations were accurate. It's just like Mama's corpse.
What do you mean?
I mean, they share a very unique property. Both contain large amounts of chiralium in their cells. In other words, the President's cord was somehow connected to the beach, and that allowed it to escape the flow of time. I've put together the bones of a theory. It's patchy, but worth sharing, I think. Life on Earth has been rocked by many extinctions, great and small, including the Big Five. And if you examine the Earth's strata, its history, if you will, you'll find chiralium deposits that can be dated to each. What if the manifestation of beaches and other associated phenomena correspond to extinction-level events?
You mean?
Yes. Our Death Stranding could just be the latest of many. The records and research you helped us to recover strongly suggest that we are in the middle of the 6th extinction.
6th extinction? Come on.
You know what this is, yes?
A frozen mammoth from 10,000 years ago.
Correct. And this?
The Iceman from 5,300 years ago.
They both had the same umbilical cords.
Bullshit.
Humor me. What if the mammoth and the Iceman weren't frozen?
You're saying time stopped for them just like it did for Mama?
Unfortunately, all these specimens were lost in the Death Stranding, so there's no way to examine the genuine articles. But some fragments of data did survive. With the aid of the chiral network, we may be able to piece together something more concrete using Evo-Devo tech. All right, how's this? A dinosaur from 65.5 million years ago. Umbilical cord, not decomposed.
Only mammals have umbilical cords.
No. Only mammals have umbilical cords used for childbirth. This is something else. Call it a strand from the other side. I propose that mammalian umbilici are a sort of mimesis of the strand that then evolved over time. We shouldn't assume that everything about a Death Stranding is detrimental to life. Trilobites, ammonites, dinosaurs, the mammoth, the iceman, all preserved as if frozen in time, all without exception found with strands, which is to say that all may have been connected to the beach. And this, when viewed in the context of the extinction entity, EE theory, leads me to surmise that organisms with strands are in fact extinction entities. You see, Sam, EEs are connected to the beach via their strands. And it is through this connection that they somehow bring about a Death Stranding.
So you're saying Bridget was an extinction entity?
It's far too soon to say anything for certain. And since you burned her body, we may never know.
Higgs said Amelie's an EE, that she doesn't have dooms like the rest of us.
Sam, think. Assume that President Strand was an EE. Isn't it possible that her daughter is too? At the very least, Higgs may hope as much now that the President is unavailable.
So he kidnaps her for EE powers or whatever to cause a mass extinction.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. I doubt a single EE is powerful enough to cause a Death Stranding, assuming Amelie is an EE.
Well, Higgs sure thinks she's got what it takes.
Indeed. And we need to get her back as soon as possible.
1 minute remaining. Please hold on to something secure.
Ah, this one is real. Sam, go west.
How do you want me to handle Heartman?
With your customary reserve. Nothing good will come of him learning of our suspicions. Whatever else is going on, we still need the chiral network.
Right.
Activating lab security measures. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Interesting.
Keep on keeping on.
It's time, Sam. When you're ready, proceed to the shore of the tar belt and begin work on the chiral relay. Once it's ready, use the Cupid to bring it online. The necessary materials are prepped for you. Supplies are limited, so handle them with care. You'll be carrying a lot, too. All things considered, this might be one of your hardest runs to date. Heartman knows more about the site than I do, so he'll take it from here. It's about time for his wake-up call anyway.
It's been 3 minutes since I left that room.
Administering shock. Stand clear.
Right. About that way station. The site we have chosen was an original candidate for the way station we lost to the tar belt. Ironically, we suspended construction because we deemed it a little too unstable and not worth the risk. But this time, it's our best shot. So let's hope we weren't right to change horses in midstream. Fortunately for us, the foundation we laid down is still intact. All you have to do is transport the necessary materials to the site and finish the job. I'm afraid it's the only way we can expand the network further west and rescue Amelie. We're counting on you, Sam.
Okay. So, what we know about the extinction entities is that they have umbilical cords and bodies filled with carbolium that don't degrade or undergo necrosis. They're attached to the beach, and... oh, fuck, that's way the hell down there. Why do you hate me, game? Anyway. Look at all that shit. It shows up for me.
Order assigned.
I gotta go past this chick anyway. But it looks so heavy. So heavy. Yeah, we'll have to pick up any of these orders simply because I already have all this other shit to carry. Alright, we're gonna save our game though. Anyway, so yeah, we know that they're highly laced in beryllium and that their existence seems to be tied to the Death Stranding. As for what that particularly means, don't know yet. So yeah, it showed up for me and in the chat overlay, so I don't know, that's weird. Emotes can be odd like that though. Alright, so we're gonna go build this way station. I strongly think we're gonna have a boss fight here soon. The Chronicles of Aaron, Chapter 1, The Great Embarkation. Did he just say fuck that? I wasn't listening. Because the Chronicles of Aaron are a super important tale for our time. Is there a Timefall shelter anywhere over here? There is. Okay.
Nice.
It's true now. Without penis pictures being sent over the internet would lose business. No one would have access to it. My post box is starting to deteriorate. Power boots. I want power boots.
Keep on keeping on.
Actually, I need to stop at the Evo Devo person and build some gloves. By penis, do you mean boob? Maybe. I mean, inevitably, you're gonna get a lot of boob pictures too. Why is my character acting like he's in pain all of a sudden? Ah, yes, BT territory. Okay, get it, we're in BT territory. I hate how long it takes for the game to acknowledge that we're in BT territory. It's like, yes, I realize this, thank you. Baby! See you later, dude. Fuck is it? See those handprints? It's chasing me. It knows I exist. But it doesn't know where I am. So it's attempting to find me. Not near Heartman's lab. There's our post box. Alright. And we're out. Okay. What do you what the fucking Overwintry? You didn't like the handprints? Handprints in the snow? I usually leave oily butt prints in the snow. Just like Omega. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what happens when they get too close, but they don't actually find you with their hands there at with the first hit. Where am I going? Okay, I'm going the right way. Just taking a roundabout way to get there. Are we undergoing an avalanche here? Like, what's going on?
I'm Sam! Hey! I'm Sam! Hey!
Cause an avalanche from yelling. Alright, so where are we going? Am I still going the right way? Okay, I'm still going the right way. And there's a timefall station right there. Oh, it's falling rocks. Hey, dude. I'm not a big fan of rock slides. Not even Pokemon. It misses too much for me. It's a powerful move, but oh my god. Ooh. Well, we're just gonna be going to see her anyway, so let's pick that up. Ah, yes. There we go. Cargo containers restored. Ah, shit.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying
Yeah.
ID.
Scanning bridges ID.
Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you.
There we go. We've arrived at the Evo Devo lady. I don't think this is the route I took last time, but it'll work. Alright. Let's deliver her lost DNA samples.
Delivering cargo.
Alright.
Hello. Excellent work. You went above and beyond the Call of Duty.
It's not hard to go above and beyond the Call of Duty. That game is pretty much lowest common denominator when it comes to gaming. Although I hear the new one they actually put some effort into, so maybe that's not entirely true. Kasuma. You think she looks like Kasuma? Kasima?
Well,
She doesn't have the cornrows. Or the dreadlocks.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal for further information.
Until next time, Sam.
Don't call me Sam. Don't call me buddy guy. Don't call me guy friend.
Weapons restricted.
Oh, so yeah, okay, yeah. It's the same profession. You are right. You win this time, Wintry. You won this game of chess, but you will not win the next. Nobody beats Sebulba. He always wins.
Keep on keeping on.
Okay, so this was BT pit territory before. Whether it still is probably, yeah, probably still is. Let's be real here. Old Volcano Observatory. Although I don't actually see any strands in the air, so maybe not? Maybe the BT's fucked off for a while? That'd be surprising, but it does happen once in a while. Is this volcano gonna erupt? Are we gonna get attacked by a boss? Is that why it's not BT territory anymore? It's shaking. It'd be crazy to walk around in a volcano crater. So we gotta make our way down to that river anyway. Oh my god, there's mule territory here. I didn't bring any actual weapons with me. I didn't think there'd be mule territory in this area. Shit. This could have been a really bad idea. You gonna reheat your coffee? Alright. Yeah, I didn't think we'd run into mule territory down here. Of all places.
Nice.
But we might be able to bypass them if we head up here along the mountain range. It'll be a little rough terrain, but I think we can do it. We're almost out of the chiral network. You know what? I've only ever I've only ever seen Sam eat cryptobiotes. I haven't actually seen him consume any other food this entire game.
You should have more faith in yourself.
I mean, I've seen him drink Monster and Kloop's beer there, but I haven't actually seen him eat any food outside of cryptobiotes. No, my climbing anchor is ruined. Alright. Moving on up. Okay, we're coming into Neil territory. Gonna be a little bit of damage to my Oh, okay, we've actually bypassed mule territory pretty well. And I think it was probably worth it considering how rough mule territory can be. Especially when you have cargo. Although I need to stop using my battery. We're not quite close enough to continue using it, and we're in snow. Actually, this is probably the time I should be using it because we're in snow, but that's fine. Alright, so I got... let's see. Ceramics! 40! Alright, let's pick up some ceramics. We may need them. Alright, so we gotta make sure we don't go too far. Or too fast, I should say. Because we could trip and fall and destroy all our shit. And that wouldn't help anybody. Is that a down plane? Is that a plane? That'd be cool. That actually looks like where we're headed. To the edge of the tar belt. Like I've said before, I'll give this game a lot of props and a lot of things, but one thing it is absolutely gorgeous. Silent posits. Go long intro.
Next level trust is you. Next level trust is you. True love is indebtedness.
Sam, you should be nearing the old building site. Look for the terminal and submit your materials for processing.
Shut up, Guy Ivan. I too want that, silly. I too. I three. Omega, if you were a Star Wars character, would you be C-3PO? Human-cyborg relations? how Leia and Han would feel if they ever found out that C-3PO was made by Anakin. Welcome back, Wintrig. Look at this. We're on a beach. Kinda. A tar beach, but it's still beach. So the first supercell took us to World War I, the second to World War II. So they're gonna take us to World War III.
Sam, you need to get those materials processed in order to finish the Cairo relay.
Yeah, thanks, shitbag. I know. That's why I'm still on my way.
Next level trust issue.
Oh my god. What a fuck bag. Resuscitation. 60 deaths and 60 bursts. I don't get that one. Is that because he dies 60 times a day?
Good job, Sam. Now access the terminal and bring the relay online.
I didn't know it was confirmed, but I read something saying that the rumor was there, but yes! That makes me happy. Wintrig knows how much I love Resident Evil 3. What's your guys' favorite Resident Evil games? Out of those of you that played Resident Evil games. New strand established. I like how it's joined the UCA, but I don't think there's anybody here.
And with that, we're all linked up. Once you cross the tar belt, the end will be in sight. We're this close to Emily, to America's second chance. Edgenut City awaits. The staff we're sending will start by building a safe house. Over time, they'll expand their operations and establish a new facility. In doing so, they'll carry on the legacy of the brave souls lost to the tar. All thanks to you, Sam. Now, let's figure out how to get you across this tar belt.
No, before we cross the tar belt, we're gonna go in and rest. Sam's earned some rest. Seven's your favorite? Revelations 2? Oh, Astral. I really liked Revelations 2. I really like Revelations as well. Revelations 2, though, just made me so happy. It's a really solid game, and it gets a lot of shit. I don't understand why. Stamina fully restored. You know, if those beds were more comfortable, it would actually be a pretty nice room for people to like to live in.
Good morning, Sam. Blood collection complete. Thank you for your generosity.
Alright, Wintrig, your favorite part of the stream? Look at that grind. Windtreak blew Astral up and made Astral catch the star. Or Silly catch the star, not Astral. Look at Silly dance. He's like, I did it. I like how Silly's got the Babel hat. He's a Babel wearing a Babel. He did nothing. He was just in the right place at the right time. Alright, let's drink some Kloops. Hey Lou, what's going on?
Tired, huh?
Lou looks happy. Alright, here goes. Aaron Hill. I don't want to read chapter 3. We'll start at the spiritualist. The chiral nectar connects people past and present. How are you, Sam? I'm in good health and good spirits, I hope. I have to say, the chiral network is quite impressive. Ever since you hooked the shelter up, my life has become much more exciting. I've been able to procure all sorts of goods that I never had before, and I've noticed quite a number of new structures going up nearby as well. I should also mention that I managed to unearth some old research data that may offer some insight into some of the more unusual phenomena you might have experienced firsthand. I'm sure you have a vivid recollection of your many experiences in the scene, but it turns out that the person wandering around in it that you may have identified as yourself may not be you at all, but someone else entirely. You see, while everyone's beach belongs to them and them alone, the seam is an altogether different beast. I've read about people who had near-death experiences that involved the seam. When they come across this someone else there, they found themselves somehow saved by them in the real world. They've even received care packages and the like in some instances. Remarkable, you'd agree, but you might even say that the chiral networks bridge the gap between this world and that in more ways than we realized. Now, I still don't know who this someone else actually is. The fact that they're in the seam, though, would suggest that it's someone who's died, wouldn't it? Someone from the past. So in essence, the past is intervening to keep the present alive. It's comforting to think that it's not just BTs and other scary stuff that comes over from the other side. Maybe the chiral network can help us reconnect with more benevolent beings and positive forces from the past as well. If I may, Sam, I don't suppose you could keep an eye out for this mysterious someone from the past the next time you visit the scene, could you? But I must throw this can like a man. Yeah. Actually, Wintry, you know those emails about the lights I keep talking about? I'm starting to think maybe I have to die to find them. Yeah, gotta be in that seam area. The Chronicles of Aaron, Chapter 1, The Great Embarkation. Hey Sam, you headed for the tar belt, right? Once you're past that, you'll be in Edgenot City at last. But only Amelie and the Vanguard ever made it that far, and from what we've been hearing, everything west of the tar is pretty messed up. Lucky for you, we're going to construct a backup safe house once you get the chiral network hooked up over yonder. Director's orders. Got a heart of gold, doesn't he? Of course, the question was, who's gonna get the sweet, sweet job of trekking all the way out there to build it? You guessed it, yours truly. Guess the golden heart of his doesn't bleed for me. Still, it's for the good of America, right? Everybody's got to do their bit for the great rebuilding, I guess. Anyway, it looks like I'll be throwing on a pack and venturing out into the wilderness like my old friend Mr. Bridges. Wish me luck up there. Aaron Hill, pioneer and adventurer, signing off. The Ammonite and the umbilical cord and mass extinctions. Sam, the Ammonite with the umbilical cord that you brought me has undeniably brought us closer to solving the riddle that is the Death Stranding. I really cannot thank you enough. And thanks to that antimatter bomb you provided, I've finally been able to resume excavations. I remain confident that by continuing to research the fossils contained in the deeper strata, we will gain a greater understanding of how this particular Ammonite is linked to the Stranding itself. Umbilical cords are not necessarily the product of evolution, but possibly the result of a genetic factor that hastens extinction itself. A mere theory, which, if true, would invite the question, what of our own umbilical cords? Are they indicative of a predisposition towards self-destruction? And if so, is there anything we can do to change our course? A troubling possibility to consider, and one for which I have no response. Given this theory, one might consider the umbilical cord to be representative of a connection between life and death. A dangerous, potentially fatal relationship, but like the many connections you yourself have forged, a potential force for good. For so many of our accomplishments are the product of our collective action, a fundamental truth that would have remained forgotten by many had you not brought us together. Stay the course, Sam. The Chronicles of Aaron, Chapter 2, The Lonely Road. Where are you right now, Sam? I just left Mountain Knot City behind. Don't worry, I'm not getting in touch to gripe about how hard this is or anything. I'm fine, honestly. Nah, seriously, I'm a veteran of the first expedition. How else do you think I made this far west on my own? I can look after myself, especially with the forecast data available on the chiral network these days. Always know when time falls on the way. Compared to last time, it's a breeze. Walking these mountains on your own, though, it wears on you. It really does. Can't believe you traveled so far without a soul for company. You're another breed, seriously. Hey, anyway, I passed this beautiful heart-shaped lake a little ways back. I'd heard of it, of course. First time I ever saw it with my own two eyes. Though, the one by Heartman's place. Someone told me there used to be a city there where the lake is. Which reminds me of a story I heard about this porter who got snagged by a BT. All this tar started bubbling up from the ground along with rocks and buildings and all sorts of debris. Stuff from the past, people said. And the porter used it to escape the tar and gave the BT the slip. What do you reckon, Sam? Sound a bit crazy? When I think about it. Actually, I did that. That was me. Anyway, I swung by Heartman's place to say hi, but nobody answered when I came knocking. Maybe he ain't as friendly as he makes out. Seems my journey, though, through the mountains is going to be even lonelier than I thought. Can't give up now, though. Let's both of us keep on trucking. Catch you later. The Evo Devo biologist, summoning objects from the other side of the tar. I've been analyzing the tar samples you caught me, and I've got to say, its properties are wholly unlike those of the more common tar we've observed on this planet in the past. The same can be said for the tar taken from the strata in which the ammonite with the umbilical cord was found. No deposits have been discovered save for those accompanying massive fossil beaches. It's as if the literal stuff of extinction. Even more strangely, it seems that objects submerged in concentration of this tar are partially, if not entirely, transported elsewhere. Most likely to a beach, I suspect. Therefore, by chucking that nuke into the crater lake, you may have sent it to the other side itself. Assuming it's a two-way street, that also means that matter sent to that world could theoretically return through the tar once more. This would explain some of the more fantastical stories I've heard of buildings swallowed whole by tar only miraculously rise from its death at a later date, looking exactly as they did when they were lost. Which has intriguing implications, don't you think? If the tar is a gateway to the past it has consumed, then maybe it could be manipulated into regurgitating its old meals. The Chronicles of Aaron, Chapter 3, A Fellow Traveler. What? I got an email. I got a trophy for that. Anyway, guess what, Sam? I'm halfway there. Can you believe it? To tell you the truth, I'm struggling to believe it myself. Not so long ago, I was all but broken. Mind and body both. My feet were nothing but blisters and chilblains, and the going was so steep I nearly slipped and fell more times than I can count. But just as I was about to curl up and die, you know what I came across? A hot spring. Damn thing saved my life. And it wasn't any ordinary hot spring neither. The recharging springs, you heard of them? The water there heals wounds, cures fatigue, hell, it even charges batteries. It's nothing sort of miraculous. Okay, so maybe it didn't just happen across the place. The porter told me about it. Thanks, porter. See, I was doing my best to steer clear of BT territory, but my best wasn't quite good enough. So when I was about to walk into a heap of trouble, this guy showed up, told me I was headed for danger, and told me the springs instead. And took me to the springs instead. Even helped me carry my load. Can't tell you how good it was to meet another traveler on the road, especially a friendly one. So yeah, we had a soak together, shot the shit. It was nice. Seems he'd mislaid some of his cargo, meant for a bridge of scientists. Said helping me out was a way of atoning for his sins. Now I think about it, the whole part was pretty strange. He said the cargo contained an ammonite with an umbilical cord. Ain't no such thing, right? Right? But yeah, can't really speak ill of the guy. I wouldn't be here writing to you if it wasn't for him. Be safe out there. Till next time. Hey, that's the guy we ran into. I really want to find out about these EEs, or these extinction entities. Interview with the Evo Devil biologist. I was born after the Death Stranding, so my conception of what the world once was is derived entirely from documents, photographs, and video. We didn't used to have timefall for one. Just regular rain, no chiral clouds, only the traditional masses of suspended moisture, and one certainly didn't have to worry about tar bubbling up from underground in most locales. Humans could travel anywhere, even into space, and we were blissfully unaware of the beach's existence. Suffice it to say, there's no doubt that this is a period of sweeping change that will have lasting repercussions for all life on Earth, given that dooms may simply be humanity's way of trying to adapt to this and survive. A beach exists with the consciousness of every individual, but these environmental changes, they affect all life on a genetic level, do they not? That is why I thought to investigate them. And the medium through which I chose to do so is the tar, which has become so ubiquitous. But you're not interested in that, I am sure. So you know there's a very real possibility that we've already failed to adapt to the sixth extinction. That we are but another evolutionary dead end, soon to be left behind. If that is the case, then it would be reason that the ones afflicted with dooms, and therefore blessed with an enhanced perception of the beach, are our successors who will survive and supplant us. I suppose that would be a shame, but it doesn't trouble me all that much. My research will survive me as well, and the doomed sufferers can pick up where I left off. They will carry on my genetic lineage too, for that matter. No, what worries me is not even dooms will prove sufficient to endure this extinction. If that is the case, then humanity is doomed. It's certainly possible we have that. It's certainly a possibility we have to acknowledge. But more than that, one question looms above all: why? Why now? Why like this? That's what I want to know more than anything. Somehow I doubt the dinosaurs and all the other species that came and went ever considered that question. Worrying about over the reason for this, and that is uniquely a human condition, I suppose. Yet this idle curiosity may be the key to understanding and overcoming the stranding. Yeah, that makes sense. It is Halloween. Well, not Halloween, Thanksgiving. Tar bubbles up from the beach. I'd heard this area was pretty inhospitable before I got here. Got your fair share of mountains, obviously, and on top of that were all these rumors about a secret terrorist base or something. So I figured I was in for a bad time. But when me and the team got here, yeah, it was way worse than what we thought. Felt like we would get jumped any second, you know? I tell you what, I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the tar out west. Wondered how the hell Amelie and her team made it through. But someone said it wasn't nearly as bad when they made the trip. I was sent out to take a closer look, and man, it was something else. And it hadn't been that long either. Hard to imagine all that bubbled up damn near overnight. Honestly, I felt like I was standing at the edge of the world. I don't know how much about the tar, except that it wasn't around before the stranding. Same as Timefall and Carillium. There's some speculation that it might be some byproduct of the beach, and if you could somehow retrace the flow, you'd end up there. But that's all theoretical stuff. Right now, we've got a practical problem to deal with. One of the chiral relays we built is at risk of going under any moment. And we don't have the manpower to relocate yet, but we should once the second expedition shows up. Whether we can wait that long or is another question, though. Maybe we can tell them to get their asses in gear if you get the chance. There we go. Okay. I know that takes a while, but it really helps me understand the world. I remember that. I don't remember who put it in there, but I remember the quote. Alright. So I'm going to stop recording.